farther from this spot. I understand we're about...
Oh, that's true. We could have had a Leo Ryan situation, yeah. Went down to Guyana and was shot on the airstrip right before the Jonestown suicide. Who's Leo Ryan? He before the Jonestown kerfuffle, he went down to investigate claims surrounding it. It's a whole thing, but like essentially he did his version of what this was, and he died for it. You know, it's dangerous. It's dangerous.
3 kilometers now from CCOT, and as you can see, they're letting other...
Is it CCOT? I'm going to keep saying CSOT. I like saying CSOT personally. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. It's fine, okay? I'm not a linguistic prescriptivist because I'm not a fascist. And if you disagree with me, you're like Bukele.
Cars go by, but they stopped us because they're under orders not to allow us to proceed to check on the well-being of Kilmar Abrego Garcia.
He was down there for multiple days making statements to the press. He was doing... Does he have it on his page, the like media statements that he made? No, I saw it in another page. That's fine. But no, he really...
With our team from the American Embassy, with the Vice President of El Salvador, with human rights groups. And the entire purpose has been to bring Abrego Garcia home because U.S. courts have determined that he was illegally abducted.
You get the gist. This is a huge blow both to Bukele and the Trump administration because technically, so obviously the deportation of Mr. Abrego Garcia was illegal, right? That's obviously the case. However, Senator Holland doesn't really have any legal authority to go and see Garcia in CSOT. Like, he doesn't. It's a different country. And those countries' laws are different. There's no rule saying that just because a U.S. senator is there, that they get to, like, go see prisoners in your, you know, insane, illegal terrorist detention facility. There was no, like, legal pretext there. It was raw power. It's really good to know that being a U.S. senator still means something, even in this administration. Like, even in this administration, where Congress is useless, and El Salvador is what it is, that being a U.S. senator still means something. Because I feel like the way the world is going right now, I feel like they could have blackbagged him. I feel like they could have just yoinked his ass. I feel like that was a very real possibility. Or just staged his murder. Totally possible. I'm sure he had a security detail with him. But, you know, following the meeting with Mr. Abrego Garcia, we actually got, and I love these, by the way, we got, please don't put in the newspaper that I was mad posts from both the Trump administration and Bukele. The New York Times headline, Senator meets with wrongfully deported Maryland man in El Salvador. Actually, like, he's brown or something, and also Graper Nation, hashtag White Lives Matter or whatever. I don't know. I'm not reading that shit. Don't put in the newspaper that we were mad. Soy right? It is soy, dude. The White House Twitter account is run by like a 17-year-old groiper or a 45-year-old pretending to be a 17-year-old groiper while trying to groom 17-year-old groipers. Like the way they tweet, you know. But there's not much that I can say about this without repeating the classics. The level of depravity here on the part of the administration is abhorrent, and in a sane world, when all is said and done, they will be tried for this. Like, Abrego Garcia is a completely innocent man, even by the admission of the administration, at least prior, before they decided to make, like, a character assassination of this innocent father, like, their entire purpose on Earth. This is insane. It's absolutely insane. It's a level of like wanton depravity that actually exceeds the likes of Israel and Russia. It's honestly like they looked at Israel and Russia and they were like, well, we don't want to be one-upped in vice signaling, you know? Genuinely, like official statements made by the Kremlin or by like or from Tel Aviv or whatever. I mean, they come out with like more class and conscientiousness than this. They do. They really do. You can go read that shit in Russian or Hebrew if you want, but like the White House is insanely loud about how bad they are of people. They're proud of it. They're very proud with their vice signaling. Kremlin equals Tel Aviv. Well, I don't remember what the name of the parliamentary building is in Tel Aviv, okay? And I'm sorry about that. So here is Trump posting a, I believe, photoshopped image of Abrego Garcia's hands. You can see his hands in like photos and videos of him. I don't know if this is a different person's hand. I assume it is, or if it's photoshopped, but this is the president of the United States posing with a fake photo. I don't know if it's fake in the sense that the tattoos were photoshopped and it was Abrego Garcia's hand, or if it's somebody else's hand. My guess is that it's somebody else's hand because that looks like, convincingly, that looks like a tattoo. I don't know. Why did they add text? Because they're trying to explain how weed leaf, smiley face, cross, skull means MS-13. He does have those tattoos. You can see them in A Visit with the Rep. And why did I read an article saying they weren't on him? So is the fake part then that it doesn't mean MS-13? If he's MS-13, he's not Tren de Aragua? Oh, you're right. Oh my God. I'm so sorry. I can't. The administration is so goddamn silly. I forget. Those are two different organizations. The whole pretext is the Tren de Aragua is like a Venezuelan gang that acts as like a state entity, which is the justification for invoking the Alien Enemies Act. This is a different goddamn thing. MS-13 is from America. He's a double agent. He's part of both. That's pretty true. Mexico? No, MS-13 started in Los Angeles. He's an El Salvadoran / Venezuelan / Mexican gang member, originating in LA, but in Maryland. Also, the tattoo is likely fake. Yeah, I swear to God, I read that it was I mean, that it's like, it's so many, this is like the Russian strategy, right? It's so many levels of disinformation that you get like confused as to which you should debunk first. MS-13 isn't Tren de Aragua. Also, like, legitimacy of the photographs. Also, what? Also, weed, smiley face, cross, skull doesn't mean MS-13. Smiley face with X's, sorry. It's fake? You telling me this story that I read on my phone at 7 in the morning is fake? Bukele posting a fake photo of the meeting? Okay, so the Bukele... Okay, hold on. We're getting caught up on the less than most funny. We're getting caught up on like a sub point, okay? Hold on. The funniest thing, the Bukele photo isn't fake, it was just staged. So when our beloved senator was having a meeting with Garcia, this is what their meeting looked like, by the way. The meeting was arranged to be at a nice restaurant in a nice part of El Salvador with a nice backdrop. Now, the photographer that came along, or at least one of the photographers, took this photo, which I think accurately captures the tone of the event. But Bukele had his own photographer there. Took this photo with the saturation turned way up, with nice greenery in the background to make it look nicer, and an aide ran in and placed 2 fruity tropical drinks with salt around the rim in front of Garcia and Holland. And they deliberately lowered the amount of liquid in front of this drink to make it look like Garcia had taken a drink. No, those are photoshopped. That is incorrect. The fascists ran in, and in an effort to pretend that in actuality Garcia was having like a fun time, happy, vacation stay down in El Salvador, he ran in quickly with these drinks and snapped this photo. This is so unserious. Yep. So they are like, it's literally just trolling. Yeah, the order, we already settled that. Catch up. Kilmar looks miserable, by the way. Yeah, I wonder why. It's really is a shame how like the high saturation and fruity drinks couldn't do anything to make this harrowed man look less like a skeleton. Looks like he's had a rough week. Yeah, I'd say so. Bukele's tweet. Kilmar Abrego Garcia, miraculously risen from the death camps and torture, now sipping margaritas with Senator Van Hollen in the tropical paradise of El Salvador. Fruity drink emoji. It's, so for one, please don't put in the newspaper that I'm mad. And for two, I guess the pretext here is meant to be that he's a dangerous Tren de Aragua MS-13 migrant sent down there because he's a threat to the United States so severe that he had to be deported under an 18th century law. But also he's having the time of his life down in this tropical paradise. Zoom in his knuckles. We've already settled that he has the tattoos. I saw people saying it doesn't matter. It's the MS-13 isn't even Tren de Aragua. That's a completely different. It's insane on like 17 levels. Does this tattoo mean Tren de Aragua? Remember that gay barber